chest. The chest is wide as we come down. The blanket is drawn under the neck and the head. The head is tilted, and the feet have a job to do. They press evenly together to free the inner legs. Here, the heart is ascending. It's lifted. The mind in yoga is considered to be the ego, the heart. And in yoga, the brain is simply another organ. It rests back. As the chest is ascendant, there's space across the heart. These postures lower the blood pressure so that the heart is not working quite so much. When we're ready to come out of Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, we can stretch the legs away. We can take the foam blocks away from the right hip so that when we bend the knees, support the head, roll to the right, we're coming up in a way that protects the back. Coming from Supta Baddha Konasana now, we're going to take cross bolsters. And in cross bolsters, we take our foam blocks sideways or horizontally on the mat. We take our bolster like a seesaw across the foam blocks, like that. And then we have a blanket just to receive the head and neck. To come into the posture, start at the highest point of the foam blocks, where the foam blocks and the bolster intersect. As I sit in this position, my knees are bent, and I'm using the feet to push the spine along the track of the bolster until the shoulder touches the blanket. Then I know I've arrived in the upper body. The lower body, if you have a tender low back, you might be happiest with the knees bent and the feet on the floor. If your tender low body is starting to heal because of your practice, you might stretch the heels away from you and press them into the floor, like this. You can see there's a tremendous stretch of the front body. From pubic bone to navel to rib cage to heart, the whole front body is stretching, including the heart muscle. But it's the back of the heart muscle that's stretching here, because the bolster is supporting the back of the heart to lift and spread the back of the heart. It has a tremendous benefit for freeing the space around the heart and for supporting the muscle of the heart to strengthen. Coming out of cross bolsters, you bend the knees. You slide the hand under the head. You take yourself all the way off the bolsters and the foam blocks. Bring your knees up, press the hand down, look down, and come up. The next posture uses the chair. We set our props aside for the moment. We fold the chair so that it becomes this, and we turn the chair seat away from us. See how the chair seat's turned away? The top edge of the chair is in the groins. The legs are firm. I'm using my hands to push the chair so that I can stretch the upper body away from the chair seat. And I move the hands sequentially down the chair so that I continue to stretch the trunk forward while the legs remain firm. Chest forward, chest forward, chest forward, all the while, as the chest is descending towards the floor, it continues to stretch forward. The hands might reach forward. The chest might rest on the chair. The forehead might rest on the chair. Rather than resting the groins on the chair, I lift the groins a little more into the body and walk the hands further away. To come up, I take my hands back to the chair, walking them up the chair for support, or just stay for a moment. This is yet another example of a standing forward bend, continuing from the previous video you might have watched about forward bendings. The next posture is Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog, and it has the head supported. How many props do you need to do that? You'll discover that. If you're using foam blocks to support the head, if you can bear weight on the hands, the arms, and the shoulders, you might take foam blocks to the yoga mat. And sitting in front of the yoga mat, just for a moment, sit on your heels, stretch your arms away from you, spread the finger mounds, thumb mounds, come to all fours, turn the toes forward, lift the knees, and push with the arms to bring the chest to the legs, and then stretch the feet back and down. Now I have to adjust the position of my props such that I can take the crown of the head to the top. The crown of the head is supported, meaning the brain is supported. And the shoulders are lifting away from the back of the neck. The heels are stretching back and down. Breathe into the sides of the body, into the back body. And when you come out, just lower your knees to the floor for a moment and sit and let the body recharge. The pause. Prashant Iyengar was the only son of BKS Iyengar, and Prashant teaches in Pune at the Institute. Prashant had some very good teaching in the sense that he taught us to make the effort at the beginning of the posture. Make your effort, find your place, find your edge, and then stay and consolidate. And then recharge and see if that moment of consolidation can take you further into the posture. Take the posture, pause, consolidate, recharge, and then come out. Setting the foam blocks to the side now, I'm taking the chair. We've not done this before using the chair. It's a back bend. Dvaipada Viparita Dandasana. 2 feet, Viparita Dandasana is legs straight, folding. So I fold my mat and take it onto the chair seat because I want a sticky surface that will hold my blanket in its place. I take my 4 foam blocks and place them in a stack at the wall, like this. I'm going to show this posture in a few different iterations. The 4 foam blocks will be for the heels. The second time I show the posture, I'll use the foam blocks slightly differently. The first time though, we take our blanket and we fold it like this. You see it's a very thin little fold. And this fold is coming like this, right the way down the center of the chair, such that my blanket is folding over the back of the chair like this. Now, I turn my chair seat to face the wall. The back of the chair facing the wall. The blanket pulled so that the edge of the blanket coils over the edge of the chair on both sides of the chair seat. To come into the posture, you have to step through this chair. And it requires some balance and that single-minded focus on what you're doing. I take one hand to the wall, one hand to the chair, and step through the chair. One leg, success. See how I'm tilting the chair? Next leg comes through. Now I can sit at the back edge of the chair seat. Here's the back edge of the chair seat. And taking my hands to the chair seat, I move the tailbone to the edge of the chair seat. Then I'm taking my elbows to the chair seat so that I can dig the elbows in and stretch the back. The top of the pelvis is going to the wall. The lumbar spine is stretching away from the wall, and I'm coiling over the edge of the chair like this. If this is going well, you could take first one heel and then the other to the foam blocks and push the wall and use your hands to push the chair to coil the chest over the edge of the chair like this. My elbows are pressing down, the back of the arms are pressing down. See how that lifts the chest? Can you think of another pose where we do this? Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Shoulder balance as well. Salamba Sarvangasana. The back of the arms press down, the chest lifts. The head is descending toward the floor. The legs are firm. I'm pushing the wall and digging the heels into the foam blocks. To come out, I set the feet to the floor. I clasp the chair. I dig the elbows down. Now, pause here. Breathe. Relax. In a moment, you're going to lift the chest, not the head. The head will follow. Dig the elbows down. Inhale. Lift the chest and slide the pelvis onto the chair. And then just let your upper body drape over the chair like this. Now the spine is moving in the opposite direction. It's moving out of the body. And then come up. Now I want to show how you can use the foam blocks and the bolster to support your head, because not everybody is comfortable taking the head back. Some find that if they take the head back, there's an unpleasant feeling of nausea. Others find that it's just too much for the neck. So come out of the chair. How? Well, take your feet, press into the floor, stand up, tilt the chair, and step out of the chair. We've done this before, so I'm not taking a great deal of time to show that. But I do want you to see how the foam blocks can work for you. See how the foam blocks are lengthwise away from the chair, not widthwise? It gives you a longer target, you see? And some of you may find that you want to take the bolster on top of the foam blocks because you want the back of the head, not the crown, but the back of the head to rest. But don't let your blanket go quite yet. The blanket is folded again. It's the track for the spine. I'm going to take my blanket between the bolster and the chair and then place my bolster on top like this. So I've got all my props in their place. I'm careful to take the blanket into the center of the chair seat so that I'm not sending my spine off on an angle. And then step through the chair. Hold the chair, step through. Sit. Take the tailbone, the top of the pelvis and the tailbone, move away from you toward the wall. The tailbone is just at the edge of the back of the chair seat. But if you have a very long spine, you might find that your spine, elbows to the chair, spine stretched away, that your spine protrudes further beyond this edge of the chair. You might find that's the case. That's okay. But just be sure that your feet now are pressing the floor, the knees are bent, dig the back of the arms down, press the chair with the palms of the hands, coil the chest. This position is now modified for the neck. You can see it's the back of the head that's resting on the bolster. But if I didn't need that, if I could just send the bolster away, and I think I can, I could take the top of the head to the foam blocks. And this gives me a different experience as the crown of the head is resting onto the foam blocks. So you can see there's several ways of working with this posture. all of them suited to particular physical needs. To come out, I clasp the chair. My knees are already bent, my feet are on the floor. I push into the feet, inhale, lift the chest, take the pelvis onto the chair, fold the arms, and look straight forward. Does this feel better than this? Or does this feel better than this? It requires that you focus on the body. And when you do that, you're bringing some loving kindness to yourself, which will spill out to everyone that you meet throughout the day. To come out of the chair, clasp the chair, step the feet toward the chair, stand up, and tilting the chair forward, step out of the chair, and set the chair down like this. Now we'll set the chair to the side, and we're going to take Setyabandha Sarvangasana, but we're going to use the foam blocks under the pelvis today. So again, we're working a pose that you've worked on before in a number of different iterations, and today you've got your mat and 4 foam blocks. Only that. Now, you won't see necessarily when I place the foam blocks under the pelvis, but they are going to go this way across the mat, like this. So we'll start with the first one in its place, and then we'll add 1 or 2 or perhaps 3 more. So sitting on the foam blocks, I'm sitting slightly in front of the foam block so that when I come back over the foam block, it's under the sacrum. My knees are bent. I take the second foam block. I press down with the arms, lift the pelvis, and slide this foam block. And I'm just feeling for the edges of the foam block, corner to corner. There they are. Oh, that feels all right. I'm pretty sure I could take a third one under the pelvis. So push into the feet, lift the heels, come onto the toe mounds, place the third foam block. If possible, take another one. So it might require that you come on your tip-top toes and take this foam block and feel for the corners and set the pelvis down. Now, press the back of the arms down, lift the chest. Relax the throat, relax the jaw. This is a form of Setyabandha Sarvangasana that gives us the spaciousness of the chest, gives us the support of the pelvis. We could bring the right knee to the chest and shoot the right leg up like this. And then we could reach that right leg away from us and roll the foot to the floor. And then step that foot back. Up goes the left leg, knee to chest, heel to the ceiling, straight leg. Reach that straight leg away from the inner thigh to the inner heel to the big toe mound. Roll the foot to the floor. Pause. And then we could go with both. Both legs up. This is Viparita Karani. This could be your Shavasana today. The feet, legs are lifted to vertical. Not bringing them in over the face, but just to vertical. The backs of the arms pressing down. The legs softening now a little around the joints. The eyes quiet. The chest lifted. The pelvis pressing down. The shoulder blades lifting into the body as they did in our back bendings as well. And then when we're ready to come out, we bend the knees, set the feet upon the floor, lift up off the foam blocks and remove them, all of them, and then hands to the top of the pelvis, push it away, lengthen the legs, release the legs release the legs from inner to outer, extend the arms, lift the chest away from the floor, stretch out from shoulder blades to palms. As we spread the palms, we're also spreading the sacrum and the pubic bone. And then elbows into the floor, specs off, eyes quiet, and feeling into the space around the heart. As we exhale, we're exhaling from the heart. All inhalations, exhalations come through the nasal passages. But calmly, slowly, deliberately, as you breathe out from the heart region. Visualize that. So that any tensions are released as you exhale from the heart. Inhaling, we feel the expansion that comes. Exhaling from the heart. You can stay in Shavasana 10 minutes and focus in a unified, integrated fashion. Breathing inward to relax the body. Breathing outward from the heart to relax the heart muscle. Eventually you'll bend the knees and set the feet down. You'll slide a hand under the head. You'll turn onto the side. And in time, you'll come up. And now the precious moment that you could stay, any amount of time that you can spend now in a yoga posture of your choice. Just looking inward at the thoughts and feelings that arise. Noticing what's there, accepting everything that the mind, body produces. Saying yes to the self. And to end our practice, joining the palms, guiding them to the heart, bowing to the heart, acknowledging the seat of the emotions, looking benevolently inward.